Okay, let's have a look at some other functionalities we can use Sovelia Inventor for. So if we have sheet metal parts in this model that we want to export into a format to cut them, as long as it's sheet metal, we have tools in here where we can go and open the flat pattern export. This will open a menu where you can select file type. You can select the configuration, the XF configuration, or create. You can browse, so you can create your own. And then you can select the output file location, which can be original folder. It can be an export folder. The export folder is defined in a ini file that belongs to these functions. I will show that after we have run this export. So we can set up an export folder which is set. And then we can also, in the export folder, we can keep the relative paths. So if you have an export folder, you can duplicate the structure. If you work with Vault, it will be a duplicated Vault structure, since that's what's happening locally at your computer too. Then you can have an export folder with a DXF subfolder, or you can just browse to the folder where you want to put the files. So I will just use the original folder here, it doesn't matter, or I can use the export folder like this. If there are sheet metal files with no flat pattern, you can just select this and it will include the files with no flat pattern and just create a flat pattern on them. This is the layer where the texts are added into the DXF or DVG file. I will show you later how this is looking. And this is the placement. Where do we want the text to be? The text too is set up in an ini file, which are available for you to configure. So I just press OK now here, and you see it will extract those two files. Two files are exported. If I run it again now, from the same location to the same location, there are no changes, so it won't do anything. It's just checking 0 files exported because none of them are changed. If I change the file, it will overwrite the old file. So it's quite easy to configure a setup. As we mentioned, we can run this on save, and this is one of the setups that you should look at in the configuration guide. This is really the same way of doing it for all different ini files configuration. So there is a local folder on your computer where everything is stored when you install the software. And there's a settings folder, and this is all the settings files, like this flat pattern export file. So what we do is that we copy this flat pattern file and we copy it into the common folder, because the common folder is where we normally distribute the settings to all users. So Sovelia Inventor will first look in this folder and see if the file exists. If the file exists, it will use the configuration from the common folder. While if it don't find any configuration here, it will use the default configuration in the local folder. So there are a couple of ini files here, like I can set up the export folder here. I can set up a file name pattern. How will the file be named? I can see, okay, I want just to run it every time I save. And if I want to do some more configurations when I run on save, I can create my run of save settings file where I can add a lot of settings to just really define how this will work. And also the text setup, this is what properties should be shown in the text inside the file. So these two ini files can just be configured, stored in the common folder here. When we are working in Wolf, we used to check out this resources folder, add it to the resources folder, check out, do the change, the check in, and just tell the users to do a get, or as it is now with Vault 2024, we can just tell me, well, just do this templates folder here, just do a refresh on them automatically when you log in. You see, I have put the templates here and I put the Inventor templates. So those two folders are side by side. So when I log in, I do all the templates, I update all the templates here. That's just one way of doing it. Okay, so let's have a look at the result of this export then. So it will look like this. As you see, we have the text below and the text as configured in the ini file here, and well, the file here, and it's named like I have set up. You see, this is the file name and underscore and the revision. So it's that's it, and that's that. We will jump on to the next session.